in my head. I don't know how to cope with this. I'm keeping secrets in my head, or any space you can find. Glad to see that I can help make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Oh, am I coming down with allergies in the ragweed season? Oh, no. Okay, enough with the negative there. Welcome to another edition of Butch On Sports. Simply Butch is here, and as always, thanks for tuning in. Yes, boys and girls, I thank you for tuning in and having some fun with us this evening. Yes, a Sunday evening extravaganza full of sports news that you can't get enough of. Should we talk about it or what? Okay, I'll do that. I'll try. I'll try very hard. Oh my. And my board has just wiped out clean. I don't believe it here. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. My board has wiped out here. So, without further ado, I'm just going to talk a little bit here. I get my notes up here so I can talk to you and be very, very intelligent here. We're going to talk about the Detroit Lions, and my board is up now. Finally, I thank you. Oh boy. Finally, on Friday, the Detroit Lions had a preseason game against the Buffalo Bills, and somewhat you can take as a positive. Matthew Stafford started. A majority of the starters on offense and defense did start. And I report to say, when Matthew Stafford got it going in the middle of the first quarter and started hitting some bullets, that offense looked pretty doggone good. Some respectable players who can catch on to the ball. And the offense was moving, and I see some positives in those particulars there. Hopefully it'll be consistent, and there you go. However, Friday night's preseason game against the Buffalo Bills, linebacker Jared Davis was helped off the field, and he was carted off to the locker room. Then in the second quarter, Frank Ragnow went down there, and he had to be helped off. And sooner or later, he needed a cart, too, to get to where he had to be, off the field. The Lions lose some key starters on the ball, both sides of it, that is. Both of them are first-round picks in consecutive years, 17 and 18. But we'll know more about the injuries as the Lions had a day off. Quite sure Monday afternoon we'll get some results on where Ragnow and Davis at, or any other Lion who has been injured or got bumped up. Matthew Stafford took a couple boo-ha-has too. Again, that offensive line got to do a better job of protecting him while he's on the field. Although, again, the plus side of the whole situation, Amendola and all the other new wide receivers besides Glasgow and Johnson playing the role, it looks like the offense is going to be coming together sooner than later, hopefully. Matt Prater, he had a 61-yard field goal, the longest in preseason history. Who gives a doggone? That's preseason. It won't count. He did a 60-yarder against Baltimore in 2016. If you keep it up on records or during preseason, which again, don't count. Lions had it bad, and they lost to Buffalo. They lost indeed. And you know what? I think they can do a better job and then some. I think so. I don't know about anybody else, but I think they can do a doggone better job of what they're doing on that field and otherwise. take it for what it's worth here. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you the truth. Plain and simple. Matt Patricia, after the game, had some words to say. So I thought it was fair enough to allow him to speak or be spoken to by you fans out there and get a good 1 minute and 15 seconds of Matt Patricia talking after the game to the fellow reporters who are standing in the area where there's to be dealt with there.
Obviously, not the end of the game that we wanted right there. I think, obviously, we had a chance to try to go ahead and win. Just too many mistakes out there on the football field in order for us to have a chance to win. We got to we got to eliminate the penalties, got to eliminate the poor fundamentals, and obviously the turnovers. Those are just plays that are going to cost you games, and we got to go out and execute at a high level. Some of the guys out there that have opportunities to make plays have to make them, and we got to continue to coach better and teach it and get it in the right direction. We lost a couple guys early in the game. Still for us, we got to kind of grind through this year and into tomorrow and find out exactly what's going on. I think with JD and Frank, there's nothing really to report right now. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow and go through the normal procedures day after the game to try to, see what that looks like, and then we'll go from there. So certainly, we got to. Just keep pushing forward as far as getting ready to go. And I think for us, the big thing is just we got to compete. We got to go out. This competition's still wide open, and we got to just go out and, guys got to make the most of their opportunities, and we got to continue to get better. So that would be where we're at right now.
That's where they're at right now. Nothing I can do about it, and nothing you can do about either, boys and girls. Tell you. Next match for the Detroit Lions, preseason week number 4. A preseason is always, to me, too long. The Cleveland Browns, they'll be in Cleveland on August the 29th at First Energy Stadium there on the lakefront of Lake Erie. Yes. Other big news yesterday on Saturday. And it came out early, but timing means everything. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this particular. Andrew Luck informed the Indianapolis Colts that he planned to retire. And that was done in the afternoon. Had a conversation with Dursey, the younger son. And Adam Scheffler got a hold to it. Every last morsel, whoever told him within that close communion, it got out fast. That evening, the Indianapolis Colts were to have a game at home. People coming in buying Andrew Luck doggone jerseys and all proud of the future of the Indianapolis Colts. And they get the news on Twitter and other social media gatherings like Facebook and others that Andrew Luck has retired. You don't think people will get upset when they don't know this firsthand, or either the team made a pre-illustration of letting them know that we're going to have a press conference on so-and-so about so-and-so and so-and-so, or may not even want to go that far. However, as a matter of opinion, what you feel is right on how this should be done, and I know that for a fact, but Andre Luck, you look at, and he has had enough of football, and as far as anybody concerned, as far as he is, he can tell anybody anything at any time he wants, and did that. His conscience was clear, but not on that field where he says he, in an open press conference after the game, that he, feelings was hurt because people were booing him. Mainly because, they were the second party to know, not the first. Mainly because, they should have wanted to know ahead of time that there was something special that needed to be said to the fans who normally support the football team, not the owners, of course. I know they pay the check, but the fans make the world go round. And normally, with most athletes, is the reason too they're there. The fan approval and appraisal there. So, happy to say Andre Luck has informed everybody and is officially retired. He worked 7 years at this, and he was very good at it. Last year, he was the comeback player of the year. But he wasn't coming back this year after going through bumps and bruises and a whole lot of pain and suffering throughout last year and some years back. That this game was not fun anymore. To work, to get injured, deal with the pain, and the recovery was taking away too much of the fashions of life. Your family, your friends, your children. It takes away too much of that. And now he gets to live like maybe a regular person once he gets some things established and get a game plan in order. He should be just fine. And hopefully he will be. And I'm quite sure there's many pro ballers that's going to be checking on in him because he was well liked throughout the NFL. As far as interviews and whatnot is concerned, I've been in a couple of them. And he never gave nobody a bit of grief. So I wish him well in his endeavors. Sorry for the Indianapolis fans who bought jerseys and whatnot, I know, quick story, I bought one jersey with a name on it. And it was Keith Primo of the Red Wings. 2 days later, he got traded. I never bought a jersey with a name on it ever again that was actively playing. I don't know, is that any good advice or not there, but, just saying. There were some sad people there last night in Indianapolis to watch a preseason game. For the Detroit Tigers, C.J. Cron and Jonathan Schoop, they hit home runs. Martin Perez, he pitched 6 solid innings for him. And Detroit Tigers and company, I'll put it that way, they lose today, 7-4. Twins win 2 out of 3 games for the weekend series. Can't say it was a bad particular outing there, but the Tigers, the Minnesota Twins showed the Tigers who's boss. Other than the Friday night when the Tigers looked like a good team. And we got some new risings, though. Will, forgot his last name there. Will, let's see, Corona. I'll get it one day. I'll get it soon here. But we'll just say Will. That's his first name. Castro. There we go. Had a great game on Saturday, hitting, for this first appearance in Major League Baseball. They say he's going to be very good, so say the Tigers. But again, they're not winning, so much for that. Tigers will be home pretty soon. Like they're probably on the plane right now, coming home, and have a little short little stint of a homestand, and they'll be back on the road again. John Motley, you know who he is? He used to be called Dean Ambrose. However, he's a professional wrestler with the All Elite Wrestling ensemble there. If you are looking to watch that August 31st all-out pay-per-view in Chicago, he's not going to be there. Motley picked up a MRSA infection. Now, as much as I can explain to you what I have looked up, it is an infection that's more or less, it can be in the bones, the back, maybe your knee, where infection just sits and gathers up in that particular spot. For all of that pressure or the infection to be relieved, sometimes medication can do it, But in most occasions, you got to go under the knife and have surgery to get all that inflammation and infection out of you. Clean it out. And normally, 9 times out of 10, you put to sleep for that order to be done. Motley previously, he competed in the WWE, of course, under the name Dean Ambrose, of course. Revealed almost a year back that he underwent surgery before for MRSA infection that took a toll on him in the WWE, and just had got back just in time for WrestleMania there. And again, it's a staph infection that basically it gathers up in one spot, and it causes very much so a lot of difficulty there. And the only way to do it is to have a surgery or something to drain all that infection and good stuff out, and then also clean it with medication and also IVs and all the other good stuff there. But it's going to take him time to heal. The healing is not about getting the infection out is one. He said he'll be back in time when they get ready to go on the air. He was supposed to be going against Kenny Omega tonight, but they got this wrestler named Pax, who's going to take the place for John Motley. Pat, by the way, was Neville in the WWE. So he's with that ensemble now, the AEW. He said he felt pretty bad. In his words, this is what Ambrose said: "I apologize to all involved for the most importantly, the fans. I am incredibly frustrated and P D at the end and off. I'm going to have surgery this week to remove a bruiser sac in my elbow. It'll be done and be in good shape. Should be a quick recovery, so he'll be 100% for AEW Wednesday night on TNT." So that's what he left. That's the words he left there. And we wish him well in him recuperating. And if you didn't find out last Thursday, that's the day after we commenced from Butch On Sports, because we do a Wednesday version, of course. WWE wrestlers Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, they confirmed in their relationship in May. They are now engaged. Yes, they got engaged on Thursday. Lynch currently on the Raw's Women's Championship. It was the happiest day of her life. Okay. Now y'all caught up. The Big Ten announced for 2019 and 20 men's basketball conference scheduled on Friday this year. The conference will begin on December the 6th and accumulate with 23 annual Big Ten tournament games. Oh, then something there. At the 23rd annual Big Ten tournament at Bankers Life Field, and that's in Indianapolis as well. A lot of Indianapolis goodies tonight here. That's March the 11th through the 15th for the second consecutive year. They'll have a 20-game conference schedule. They'll play 7 teams, both home and away. 6 teams once, 3 at home, and 3 of those, particularly the other 6 away, okay? So the Big Ten schedule will get underway with 14 teams playing in one conference, home games, road games. That's beginning September the 6th. And on the 18th of December, the conference season will commence. By the way, Michigan on December 6th will host Iowa. Conference season will resume after you play some Christmas holiday games and therefore there. Specials will resume on January the 2nd and will conclude on March the 8th, okay? Big Ten basketball tournament, again, that's going to be held for the 11th time in Indianapolis there. All 14 teams, it used to be held in Chicago, of course, there. All 14 teams will advance to the tournament. First 2 first-round games will be slated for Wednesday. On the 11th, the top 4 teams will receive a first and second round bye, and they'll advance to the quarterfinals on Friday, March the 13th. And that's the best I can tell you about that for the Big Ten. For basketball season upcoming there. Speaking of basketball there, FUBU's World Cup Championship will begin this week as well. The United States, of course, on their last game, it was Saturday, yesterday, got spanked. Well, not really. They suffered a loss against Australia, 98-94, in front of a huge crowd of Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. Yes. For the Washington Post, the team haven't lost to Australia in 13 years. A 78-game winning streak of international exhibitions and competition go back to 2006 for the United States. Also, the win snaps a 66-game losing streak for Australia against the United States. That's massive, ain't it? But, hey, they lost. Don't mean nothing because the tournament will get started in China practically this week. And by the way, the USA got their final rosters out here for everybody to uphold here. And the following people is as follow: Harrison Barnes, Jalen Brown, Joe Harris, Brooks Lopez, Chris Middleton, Donovan Mitchell, Mason Plumlee, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Miles Turner, Kimball Walker, and Derek White, and also Kyle Kuzma was added onto that list as well as soon as today. So there's your men. Now, there's a lot of groups in there. Like Group A, for instance, has Coast d'Ivory, Poland, Venezuela, and China in their group. Group B has Russia, Argentina, Korea, and Nigeria in their group. Group C has the following teams in their group. That would be Spain, Iran, Puerto Rico, Tanzania. Group D, the following: Angola, Philippines, Italy or Italia, okay, and Serbia will be in their group. Group E, we have the following here, and this is important, boys and girls. Group E: Turkey, Czech Republic, United States, and Japan. Tough, but they can survive that if they play good basketball here. And Group F, and we're still going down the line. It's Greece, New Zealand, Brazil, Montenegro. Group G, the following teams: Dominican Republic, France, Germany, Jordan. Group H, Canada, Senegal, Lithuania, and finally Australia in that group. You got it, boys and girls? Those are the participants in this highly go-lucky thing called the World Cup, the FUBU World Cup in basketball. Now, you got it going on? You understand? Boy, that is loud there. Now we're kind of like have some music bed there. That means the end. I'm done on Sunday here, boys and girls. Glad you were with me on this version of Butch On Sports. Butch On Sports is produced by Oma Darling Productions. Okay? And you can listen to Butch On Sports always incredibly on Facebook. Go to Butch On Sports on Facebook to get that goodie. Give me a like or two. Tell me how you feel. You can also hear Butch On Sports on Podomatic.com. Type in SIMPLYBUTCHTOO.Podomatic.com. And you go straight to the page. Oh my. You can also listen to our show on the Game Sports Show. Heavily doggone induced by other shows in particular. Okay? But yours truly shows on there. Along with, join me on Mondays, if you can. We're still getting phone calls to my house and emailing me saying, I can't hear the show unless I go to the Game Sports Show. Yes, that particular podcast is always posted on there. hopefully a day before. But last week it was kind of late there, so I don't want to say too much. But your comments have been well received, and I will talk to the station people and find out what kind of medium that show can be held if you want to hear it live on the internet or something of that nature there. I am done, boys and girls, here. I will deal with Scott Nason or see them or hear from them tomorrow. Scott Nason, David McKay, E.J. Russell. I'm Butch, simply Butch, known as Butch, or some other names as well. Hey, get yourself together. Have a great week in particular here. And we'll deal with this on Wednesday, boys and girls. All righty? Okay.